All right, guys, man, exciting day to be with you guys. It is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. Um, Super excited today. It was, I did something I haven't done in a long time, and that is trade pre-market. Um, it's been a long time since I've done that. And so that was me. It was definitely a very interesting morning. I randomly woke up. I usually check the market, pre-market, just to kind of see what's moving today and what's going on. And I did not expect what I saw, which was the news on ALMS. Let me just show you kind of some of the. Let's look at ALMS. And so this is kind of a rare thing where pretty much I woke up around here and I let the 5-minute candle sort of swipe and I started to short. You can see this is clearly a bullish move. So I'd be very cautious about shorting, definitely without confirmation, because you're breaking out new time highs. And you can see we ran through this candle. And so this was the short. Uh, didn't hold this entire move, waited a little bit to this flush, and then I actually wanted to go long and I missed it by 5 cents, which is fine. That's what happens. But you can clearly see that, coming from 14 all the way up to 19 is a $5 move. I actually got a point on this flush, which was super awesome. Just a great move, guys. It was just a solid play. And so I actually made my daily goal 2x. And so, to be honest with you, don't really need a trade, but I still wanted to come on because, kind of want to see how things flush. Still want to see the open, still want to learn, still want to see where I could do better. But this move is just incredible. Look, you got these bullish candles, then bearish candles, and so it starts to get choppy, starts to get, but like I said, this was time clearly the buy zone, and unless it really starts to show, it fails, like down here, really where it started to run. I just you don't want to get involved. Now, why am I saying that? Simple, guys. Anytime you're trading these stocks and looking to short, looking to look at their all-time highs. Oh, we're $5, $6 above all-time highs. And so now we're talking about a high flyer that could go up to $100 as far as I know. Now, obviously, it's traded only about 14 million shares, and I believe I checked the float. Let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let's see here. Realized my screen wasn't being shared. Still new to the live streaming. So the ALMS, again, this was where I was looking at the 14 area. I missed it by 5 cents and it ran up to 19. Clearly very bullish. Wouldn't want to front end this. If I look at, let's see, what was it? ALMS. It has a 60 million share float. We've traded about 14. Probably get closer to like 60 to 80 by the time we're done. So, the thing, you figured if you're changing volume and you closed at, what was it, 8, probably get up to 16. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a high flyer. But like I said, I wouldn't mess with it. It's especially going into market. This thing can flush a lot of people, and it also can sell off and they can run it down. So maybe if you want to play along on this, you could play a VWAP bounce. But if it's trading at $19, $20 and the VWAP is at 17, or let's say 17.50, then it's gonna, because that'll be a 10% drop, it's probably gonna halt. And I would never trade a stock on a halt down. So that's this thing can run, but just be careful is what I would say. Just be careful on that stock. I am looking today specifically at buying options for coin, and I have so many stocks, guys. I'm watching, like, there's just a lot to watch. I don't think I'm going to watch Tesla. Tesla looks pretty weak today. Coin had a great move yesterday, and so I'm looking at buying options of coin, call options. And so, as we mentioned on the channel and on the recap, I have kind of a bullish now that we broke the floor at the 231 and we sold off a few dollars, and now that we are kind of trading back up, um, I'm looking at basically, a push up in here, this 280, and then ultimately we can get up to the 300. And so I think this is a good play, and the confirmations are there. And so I think that there's a good chance we can get there. LMS, by the way, is now at $20. So, ooh, that is concerning. Um, yeah, this thing is just squeezing people out like crazy. So, that's a freight train and it's moving. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't halt down when it opens, but it could also halt up and it could trap a lot of shorts. And so again, a great long, could have joined the party all along here. Just it's one of those high flyers and the news is already out, the catalyst is out, so it's there's nothing really there for me. So let's just see how it plays out. Very interesting. I actually bought this after hours. So this was a stock we traded on Friday, and I'm noticing the trend, and I do want to talk about that briefly. And the trend is you'll have, high liquidity, high volume day. You won't quite get, I mentioned to you guys that this $4 area just kept getting rejected, like right here. And it seemed like anytime the buyers were pushing it up, it sold off, which was very unique just watching the tape, and seeing all the time and sales of what was going on. And so yesterday I noticed it actually held trend. And so I got out. I was, I'm usually flat end of the day, but I noticed this yesterday that it was flat. And so I actually bought yesterday post market, just to kind of start evaluation, like sort of theories and trends I'm noticing in the market, which is high liquidity day, and then essentially you have no liquidity the next day, and then you have sort of the move. In this case, it was really interesting because the move actually happened like 2 o'clock in the morning, which is 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern time. And I don't know about you guys, but I was, I'm usually sleeping, so didn't actually get most of the move, but I was able to sell up here, kind of this push back into VWAP right here. And so it was still worth, 60 cents on a small share size, 60 cents on a $3 stock, guys. That's a 25% return. And so 25% return for a few hours hold, I guess the swing isn't bad. You can see it selling off. So I don't really care to watch it. I'll probably take it off the list. I think it was just more out of interest to see what it does. Ava was interesting. It's traded about 2 million shares. It's about 20 minutes before market open. Um, I don't I don't know really what to think about this one. This one is uh kind of trading below VWAP, so there's not really a long there, but there is space to move. If you look on the daily chart, it is trading above the 200 day, but there's still space here into that 18. I don't see it going up here, but up in here, retesting these sort of highs at like 18, 19. It traded close to 18 pre-market, so maybe it doesn't get really anything above here. So I don't know if it's really interesting, but it might be better on the short side. Um, what is the float on that one? Oh. So looks like looks like it has about 38 million shares and it's only traded two. So I don't see, usually you can kind of get an idea of volume based on pre-market action. It maybe goes up to 10 million today. And so if we look at, and I feel like some of the news came out. These are some high volume days. Let's kind of see what the volume looks like. So this was like half. This was like 5 million in trade. So I don't see this thing going up much higher, guys. Yeah, it might be just a retest, possibly of the pre-market highs at 1786. Besides that, I don't really see. I just don't see it. So we'll look at that. We have about 18 minutes to pre-market. Um, like I mentioned to you, I'm out of this trade, so I'm not even really paying attention. I think I'm just more curious to see how that thing goes. Let me see if there's anything else. I was watching slightly CYCN. I don't think I'm gonna actually trade it. CYCN, where's CYCN? Uh, um, yeah, I mean these things are just these are kind of what they call the gappers, but doesn't look that strong either. You know, maybe you get a push up here into this right here, this high 280 and trap some people long. It's done about 27 million shares. So again, you want to look at how many what the pre-market value is. It's just not really a super big fan of the stock, but there definitely looks like there could be a long. It's just been trading sideways now for a minute. Um, yeah, the share float's 2 million, so it's already traded 10 times its float. So there might be a trade in there. Might be a trade in there. So yeah, I mean, there's something there could be something there. Um, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff moving. It's exciting. I mean, I have to say the compared to what we had Christmas and the holidays, it was just you could just kind of tell things were super slow. You can definitely tell things are moving. So I guess we could put our alerts on, which are, obviously a good idea just so you can kind of talk through your thesis. What's Sidhu doing today? Is Sidhu even doing okay? It's just kind of holding trend. Yeah, this is an interesting stock. I could see this thing flushing back. I mean, this thing is just a meme play. Don't really care for it. So let's look at yes, IMBS gets very interesting too, because there is this move possibly back up to 17. So, maybe we call out, maybe we go in for a long for a break of that and see what is this? This is 12:30. So go long. We want to probably go long right above 12:35. So we want to add that alert so we don't have to keep an eye on it. I don't really care to short it. It's already trading below its 200 days, so let's just see if it can get some momentum and retest some of these highs that we flushed. But again, we can see that same idea, low consolidation. In fact, let me see what INPS. Yeah, let me send 100,000 shares, so it's not highly liquid. So this could be the same idea, guys. That low liquid day, and then we look at it tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one. Maybe BNI, as I mentioned, it just kind of sold off. The move happened after hours, so I still expect it to get up here. I think this will be kind of the high of the 440, and then it'll be a short. Could go in for the short. Why don't I want to short it? What was the reason? I just want to make sure it wasn't a. Yeah, it's a short float. I that's one of my rules this year. I don't like to do short floats anymore, even if they're the trades there. It's just not worth it. It's not my style of trading anymore. So probably not going to do anything with that. Let's see here. I did short silver, and so I'm looking at a retrace back into the 71.20 pre-market. I did short it higher at the 71.60. It looks like I was slightly it just tested the rehighs of the pre-market. So again, guys, when we're trading, we got to look at pre-market. So let's look. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So right here, this is what we're looking at. So I'm looking at retracing right here to 71.20. But right here, right, this is what I was looking at, this topping tail here, which is right at 72. Got to right under 72 right here. And so now so this was, a few days ago when it was sort of post-market squeeze. And so I'm going to cover my shares at a bounce at VWAP just in case we try to break all-time highs. I'm starting to watch this stock for puts, as I mentioned on the recap. We're not there yet, so I'm not interested, but I do have an eye on it. Like I mentioned though, the only option call I wanted to do today would be coin. And so any flush that I can get on coin is a discount for my calls. So let's see if I get it. I don't know if I'll get it. Um, but let's see if I can get it, then that would be great. So, like I said, guys, I kind of made my day, and this is one of those things where you don't want to mess up a day where you've already done well. You could essentially go back to sleep. So, a lot of things I want to do is just kind of watch, and you want to be a student of the game. You want to learn, you want to watch, and kind of see what. And so, waiting for this to flush, we'll cover more shares as we go down. So again, guys, you don't wait for the entire flush because it may never happen. Just like yesterday when I was shorting the stock up here and I was shorting, reshorted, and then I had outs all the way. This was my expected move was to that 68, 60, 50 zone. And so same idea, right? So you're shorting up here and then you have outs all the way up here. And then you have an out to get out of if it starts to make new highs. So you're not losing, you're not risking a lot of capital. But if you're not taking outs and you're, letting it retest and you're not really making anything, you're just giving all that money back. ALMS is coming back in. So that's, it's such a high flyer and it's coming back in. So it's got as high as 2170. Like I said, if I was still short, I would have been blown out by a lot. Right. So this is a portfolio killer, but you can see VWAPs here at 17, was it 1772? So let's see here. Oh, it's funny. They just increased the borrow rate on the shares. That's funny. They did that. You gotta love brokers. So gonna cover a little more as we make our way down. Looks like silver's kind of trying to come back down, but let's see what it wants to do. This guy here is, yeah, I mean, he's moving. Silver is slowly steadying up, so I'm going to put my outs. You got to put your outs just so when it hits your target, you're not still holding. And like I said, the worst thing you can do today when you're in this position is to give up your win day. Right. So that's the worst thing you want to do is give up your day. So you want to really go small size, if anything. Um, don't want to risk anything. So don't want to give the market back anything, I should say. Silver is kind of pushing back up as it starts to stair step down, at least a VWAP. And like I said, we'll watch what it wants to do. So I expect this thing to, maybe push back up and then slowly get our way back down, which is perfect at that 71.20. I'll be completely out of the position, but I will be out of it as we sort of stair step down. And yeah, guys, 9 minutes to market open. So that's what I'm watching. I don't think anything else has really been moving. This is, like I said, don't really care about this stock. Coinbase, Uh, you know, probably won't get filled, but waiting for a flush. If we can get, 254, any type of discount would be great. So looking for that discount for this. I'll be watching this at open. Um, yeah, this stock could be very dangerous right here. Like we're $3 away from VWAP, so if it flushes down, which it can, um, it could like it could be really bad. Yeah, here's that retest of that 7180 failed. But yeah, that's wild. So that's yeah, they most maybe they run it back up. Maybe they just run it up some more. So definitely don't want to go full size anything on that type of a trade, guys. That's a high risk trade because it can open up, they can squeeze it, right? So if you look at it here, if it opens up and they squeeze it, right, it can hold up and you're stuck in the trade. If you're trying to go long, go VWAP bounce, you can't go there because it's so far out that you're technically going to lose on the trade because it's already, you know, 20% away from VWAP or 15%. So this is one of those stocks that it's going to be pretty wild at open. So let's see what it wants to do. And then it looks like coin's already kind of running. So I'm not really super excited about that. Um, yeah, that's not good. I want to wait. I'm gonna have to wait for the coin trade. You can see it's kind of running up. It's low volume. It only has 230,000 shares traded, but I want to get out of that if I can. So let's see. Let's see what the market wants to do. ALMS is running, still running. I'm at $22, guys. This is just a long. I was looking at 14. Could play both sides. You could play both sides to it. That's the incredible thing about these stocks. You can play both sides. So let's see what it wants to do. Uh, yeah. And besides that, guys, not really watching anything else. Like I said, I'm not going to be buying coin calls that high. So good luck, guys, and that's what I'll be watching. So for coin, wait for a flush at 254. I'll be picking up calls for a 280 push up to I think I can see 300. This I'll just mainly be watching today on the sidelines. Silver, I am shorting it. Looking to cover right here above VWAP at 7120, and then I'll be out of that trade. I can look at another opportunity, but it's still moving. So I'm not. I mentioned the puts play, not looking at puts right now, just the way it's trading. So that's pretty much it, guys. Good luck with trading today, and let me know how you do in the comment section. All right, and hopefully it's going to be a good day for everybody. And let's go. Let's all get it. So good luck, and let me know how you guys do.